Hello, YouTube. This is Queen Violet 8, where it's good to be queen. Coming to you with a small haul, but mainly to talk about the 3DS. Brothers and sisters, we ain't got but 3 weeks to download all the games that you want to download. Don't forget about that downloadable content, that DLC, that will sometimes make your game so much easier if you had it, like extra gold, faster leveling, more items, things like that. But I hate that, they're putting the 3DS out to pasture. This is my second 3DS. I had the original 3DS XL model, and it slid off my desk and hit the side of my bed and broke. So I walked into Walmart. I had to wait till they had a sale on them. It was like $175 to get one at GameStop. And I went in there. I was like, well, they're selling at GameStop for this price. And I was like, fine, whatever. She was in a hurry. And so at the end of my transaction, I didn't pay but $145 for my new 3DS XL. And I was like, thank you, Walmart employee that was in too much of a rush to pay attention to what I said. So I walked right over there. Was I going to correct her? No. I walked right over there and got me a $20 gift card and skipped right on out of Walmart. But I've had this thing and I still play it to this day. It has some amazing games on it. And you can still play your DS Lite games. I'm still buying for the DS Lite. There are still games to be had. I really like Puzzle Quest. I've got the other two coming. Match 3 game. Very simple to play. But, I mean, it had some great games on it. We're just going to get into it right now about some of the wonderful games that you're missing out on. And some are still available pretty cheap on Amazon and eBay. I'm going to go ahead and get into my Etrian Nexus. I bought this game. I had to choose between this and Yokai Watch 3 at the end. And I picked this one instead of Yokai Watch 3. But I'm okay with that. I went ahead and downloaded Yokai Watch 3. They never put it on sale on the eShop. I don't know why. But this is a dungeon crawler. I'm absolutely excited that we're getting a collection for the Switch. Yes, I pre-ordered mine. Yes, I know it's like $80, $90. But you have to remember one thing. The Atelier collections, when they do the trilogies, are the exact same price. So don't complain about it. That's how much they do. But Japan is the only one getting a physical for Etrian Odyssey, the first 3 games. I hope that they will, put the 3DS versions on there because they had a lot of, improvements in the game for it. But I'm so glad to have this. I got this day one. I still have my little Vivian pin they give that. I used to think that was a hat, but it turns out that's just a cat sitting on top of her head because she's too lazy to make him get up. But really, really good game. Then, of course, I picked up the Alliance Alive. Wonderful game. Very underrated. They did re-release this on the Switch. There is a physical on the Switch and the PS4 RPG. The original game for this, and I've got it over here. Where is it? I don't see it, but it's called Legend of Legacy, The Legend of Legacy, and that's a precursor to this game. So if you, are interested in this, you can still get this for like $28, brand new on Amazon right now, but somebody else is probably selling even cheaper on eBay. So check Amazon and eBay for that, because sometimes they'll be selling them so cheap. It'd be better to get them physically than to pay a full price on the eShop. If you know you can get, I think, what is it, Luigi's Mansion, you can still get that for like $28. But if you want to download it, it's $40. So, it's up to you. Another one that people don't talk about, and it's no longer on the eShop, unfortunately, is 7th Dragon Code VFU. Or is it VFD? Or VFO? Y'all tell me. But anyway, this came with just an art book. Another dungeon crawler similar to Etrian Odyssey. Really like it. Very interesting. Had some real good downloadable content if you had hurried up and got it. It's no longer on the eShop. You can't download anything else for it. So pick this up if you see it. It's one of those games that's expensive. And I'm glad I got it. I think I paid maybe $30 back in the day for this. But I was happy to get it. Real good soundtrack. I hate that they didn't include a soundtrack on it. You only got an art book. Then, of course, I picked up Etrian Odyssey 5. And Beyond the Myth. This actually came with a soundtrack and an art book. The way that they did it is really cute, how they did the art book and the soundtrack. What they did is they gave you the art book, but the soundtrack, they left a space right in the back to put the CD. And yes, I listened to it, but it's got all the little artwork and stuff. It's so cute. I really like the artwork they do for Etrian Odyssey. And now we're going to get into some more games that I purchased. And I'm going to talk about why you need to be getting, you know, your DLC and all. First of all is Pokemon X. And yes, I finished this game and liked it. Then they turned out with Ultra, Sun and Moon and all of that. And I was like, well, I don't already finished the original. Why would I buy another one? You can still find that pretty cheap. Etrian Nexus, Etrian 5. And of course, you got Etrian 4, Legends of the Titan. This game, I don't know what it was about it, but it costed more for this game than it did for some of the others because there's an airship in here. I think it is it's an airship, like an air balloon in this one. This is the first time they did it. Happy to have it. Wish it was in better shape, but you know, still. Then of course I picked up Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Sorry about my fan. This game is still cheap. Physically, grab that if you want it, because you know it's gonna go up later. There's no guarantee that we will get these games on the Switch, and even if we do, there's no telling when we'll get them. This is Bravely Default's second Inlayer. I don't get that name. And I absolutely love the Bravely Default games. Absolutely adore them. Wonderful RPGs. It'd be nice if they would do like a dual pack on the Switch for these. But once again, no guarantee or whenever we'll get them. Then this is a game that flew under everybody's radar. This is Gravity Fall, Legend of the Gnome Gemulets. And it's a wonderful game. It's so funny. And it's pretty much an action RPG or platformer pretty much. But you're Dipper and Mabel. She's got her grappling hook. She does all her, you know, attacks with that. And Dipper, pretty much he's using the abilities he's got from the arcade episode where he has to fight and learn all those little extra moves. But he does that. And you're looking for these, I think there are 12 of them in total, these gnome gemulets. I'm still missing one. I haven't found it yet, and I'll be done with the game. But it's a wonderful game. It's not on the eShop. You'll have to buy this physically. But if you're a fan, you know, it's a great game. It's fun. It's cute. My only gripe about this game is that there's no voice acting. It's Disney. They could have done voice acting. Another game that I purchased, and I got it cheap before it got expensive, is the original Fantasy Life. There is DLC for this. I think there's a whole nother island that you can explore. I have not gotten that yet. I got to work on that. But I'll get into that in a minute. But they're also coming out with a new Fantasy Life game, The Girl Who Stole Time, for the Switch. So I'm looking forward to that. But this is a great game. Pick it up. It's very, I want to say it's similar to New Leaf. You're an explorer and you can pick different classes: mage, knight, alchemist, gatherer, hunter, whatever, and you live that life of that, you know, character that you picked. And of course, you got to have your Fire Emblem games. Thank goodness for Awakening. It was the only thing that saved the series. There is DLC to still be had for this. Different maps, extra dungeons where you can get more money or, you know, level up quicker. Love those little end confession. These guys be saying some lines on here. Absolutely love Fire Emblem. Don't forget your amiibos. They open up different stuff if you have them. And also, this is Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. Woo, the DLC on this game is gonna cost you at least $45 to get everything. But this is a wonderful game. I think this is like the 6th game in the series back in the day, and they re-released it. But this is a great version of it. If you are a Fire Emblem fan, yes, play this. And don't forget that DLC. Because if you don't get it, there are many classes you won't be able to unlock later. Got this GameStop. Didn't cost me but $4.99. This is Dr. Lortrick and the Forgotten King. And this game, it's all over the place. It's like Pokemon, Indiana Jones, and it was just too busy for me. But it's a cute game and all. It's got that Professor Layton style kind of animation to it, but it was just too much for me, and I just put it down. Got to get them Legend of Zelda games. Of course, you've got the original Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. If you're a Zelda fan, you know you want it. It's still cheap. There's also a Nintendo Classics version that goes cheaper for that than it does for the original one. But if that's what you want to do, get that physical. It's still cheap. Look on Amazon, check on eBay before, they go up. Then, of course, I picked up A Link Between Worlds. A great game, by the way. The strategy guide. I need that strategy guide pretty bad. That's my next purchase right there whenever I do that. But, times is tight. My car just quit working, and I just bought new tires for the thing. And there just ain't enough money when you need it. But pick that up. Wonderful, wonderful game. Then, Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars. This game is hilarious. Pretty much you have like a whole lot of mana. I'm going to call it that. They consider you to be God's gift. Sure, whatever. Just because you have a whole lot of magical power. What you call classmate with these girls. Actually, you just hold their hand and this music comes on. And suddenly these little Russian doll-like babies pop out of these little containers. And suddenly those are your dungeon party, pretty much. You send your kids in to do your work while you've got your maiden with you, whoever it is that you pick for that dungeon, and your kids help you. You can let them be independent, and they'll go to smaller dungeons for you and bring you back stuff. Really good game. There was DLC for this. If you didn't get it, I'm hating it for you. It's a really good game, but you can only get this physical. It was also on the Vita, but that is expensive as well. It would be nice if they would re-release some of these games, but, there's no telling when we'll get that. Another Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Birthright. I had no idea there was a special edition that gave you both games and the little, extra thing. I wish I'd have gotten it. Plus, they had a 3DS of just Fire Emblem, and I'm still kicking myself. I remember going into GameStop, and the guy had, like, a bunch of those 3DS XLs, but it was, like, the Super Nintendo version design. And they were practically throwing them things at people. Hey, you want to buy this? It's $100. I wish I'd have gotten it, but I can't worry about it now. But Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright. Don't forget you got Conquest. If you play up to if you got this game when it launched, you got a code. And you could download the code for Fire Emblem Conquest. In chapter 6, it would allow you to open that up. But there's still one more chapter that you're going to have to pay $20 to get to finish this game completely. Great game. Once again, them confessions crack me up. Then I picked up Resident Evil 3D because I'm a Wesker fan. This is a Melee Resident Evil. And it's really interesting. It's got a demo of Resident Evil Revelations on it as well. That's another game that's still, pretty cheap if you want to get a physical of Revelations. They didn't have the original case of this, but this is Etrian Untold, Millennium Girl, which is Etrian Odyssey 1 actually, but just a redone version of it, which is what I'm hoping for on the collection that's coming out for the Switch later on. And yes, I've got mine pre-ordered. Code of Princess, another game that's no longer on the 3DS. It is on the Switch, though, if you want to play it that way. Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse. These are games that you need to get. These games, I was just looking at them, are like $70, $80 right now, physical. You can still download them. Every once in a while, Atlas will have like a 3DS sale. I don't remember. I think it was the beginning of the year they had one. And you could have bought those games for $20, downloadable. So if you want this game, you're going to have to download it. But I'll get to that in a minute. And that's what I'm going to talk about, downloading these really, really expensive games that you cannot buy without spending a ton of cash. Thank goodness, y'all, for the R4 card. If you are like me and you ain't got the cash to spend a ton of money, like Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, that game is, I think, $200, $300 for a physical copy. I don't have that kind of money. I got to buy a car. But the R4 card, if you are, computer savvy, which I am not, I'm paying somebody to put mine on here. But download those games, but you're still going to need to do all your updates. Go through your collection. This is for any game. And check your updates. Make sure your stuff is up to date on your games, because you're going to need that later on. When the store shuts down, I don't know if you'll still be able to do much, but I know if you've purchased a game, you can re-download it, but I don't know about updates, but just check it. But with the R4 cards, you can go in there if you know somebody and they can put ROMs on here. You know, I'm not condoning piracy, but if you like me, you just ain't got the money, this is the way to go. Then Pokemon Moon. Finished this game too. Then Ultra Moon came out. I was like, no, I don't want to spend no more time on Pokemon Moon. But, you know, if you want to get it, go ahead. It's still, you know, reasonable. And also be careful when you're buying these games. There's something called a World Edition. And I can't find the one that I had, but I'll show it to you later. I think it's on Bravely Default. Let me show you real quick. Here it is. If you are buying these games, be careful. These are called World Editions. The US version won't have that at all. So if you're selling it, you know, people may look at that World Edition and go, you know, it's not worth that much. But this was the only way I could get this game for under $50, was to buy the World Edition that plays on, you know, anything pretty much. But it's really, really good. Very, very happy to have it. It plays perfectly fine, but it plays on anything. So thank goodness for that. But I got to check my updates for that. And I think there's DLC for the Bravely Default games. The Alliance Alive. Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy. This is already out on the Switch. You don't have to have it if you don't want it, but it's still very cheap. It's such a cute game. It's just a rhythm game. You tap or slide your stylus to the beat of the music. Really nice game. Sushi Strikers, The Way of Sushido. This game is still dirt cheap. I think you can get it for $10, but I've seen the Switch version be like $11. So, you know, it's up to you, but it's a great game. More people ought to play this game. It's funny. Pretty much it's a match game and you're swinging your plates at your opponent. And there are some crazy opponents on this game. You've got like this old man with these two scantily dressed nurses. He's got on some gator sandals that are like at least 4 feet tall. There are just many, many people on here that you're going up against, but it's great. You have the sushi sprites. You gather more and more sprites and they give your, you know, sushi different, you know, power-ups and boosts. But it's really good. And that opening theme song is really funny. Listen to it if you have time. Poplo Croix. Well, Return to Poplo Croix, A Story of Seasons Fairy Tale. If y'all remember Fred's, y'all should have been running to Fred's back in the day. I bought this for $5 when they were just going out of business. There were a lot of games I picked up, like Legendary Starfy. I had a Professor Layton game and a few more. But this is a really cute, it's by Marvelous. It's a really cute game. And it's an adventure RPG. And it's really, really adorable. And you have to return life to the land. Really cute. If you like Story of Seasons and things like this is for you. Got lucky. This was my last real big, you know, purchase I did. And this is Dragon Quest. I got to get a new cover. Look at that. I hate that. But Dragon Quest, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. This is 7. Got to download 8. But like I said, thank goodness for the R4 card. I'm going to get that done. Wonderful game. It's only available on the PS1 if you don't already have this version. You can still download this on the 3DS eShop. It's still there. It's still $40. I don't know what it is about them, but they do not go on sale very often, if at all. And this is what I was talking about. Legend of Legacy. This is the precursor to Alliance Alive. The Alliance Alive. Very simple game. Some people said it was too repetitive, but I'm okay with that. Yokai Watch, the original one. This game used to be dirt cheap. You used to be able to buy this for like $10, $12. It's inching up. It's almost $30 now. So if you see it, pick it up. It's still available on the eShop, as well as Psychic Specters, which was one of the games that had like all the ones for Yokai Watch 2 in there. You want Psychic Specters. They had Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls, which is what I picked up because I couldn't find Psychic Specters. Psychic Specters has all the yokai from both the other 2 Yokai Watch games. But pick that up if you're interested in it. They still have it, and they also still have Yokai Watch Blasters and Yokai Watch 4. All the Yokai Watches are still, you know, downloadable. But don't forget, you know, about your DLCs for your game. I'm preaching at y'all. Then we've got Stellar Glow. And I also have, what was it? Magna Made in Heaven or something. I also have that one as well. These are some games before the studio that made them shut down. But this is a really good RPG. Really, really cute. It's Alto lives in a world in which song has been absent for a millennia. So pretty much you're finding these girls to get these songs that will help you. It's a harem game. You know how that is. But wonderful, wonderful collection for the 3DS. And I'm going to talk about the DS eShop. If you don't already have, you know, if you haven't linked your account for your 3DS to your Switch, you need to. That's the only way you're going to be able to add funds to any of these games and all. But many of them are still available. Cold Sep. Another one is wonderful is Sakura Samurai Art of the Sword. The Ace Attorney games, Apollo Justice. Now, you really don't want Dual Destinies. It's got some extra episodes and things that's like, you may spend $10 on all of this. Then you've got the Game & Watch Gallery. People forget about that. That's on there. Check out DSi or Virtual Console on there. Your Legend of Zelda's seasons. There are so many. Then you got your GG series Dark Spirits, X Cave 1, 2, and 3. Job there. Oh my sake. I like the way he says that. Please don't forget Liberation Maiden. You will not be able to get these games later. There is no physical for these. Attack of the Friday Monsters. This is one that people have forgotten about. And this, if you like rhythm games like Final Fantasy Theorhythm, and I think there's one called Gabriella's Ghostly Groove, you'll love Radio Hammer. It's really good. I've gotten real far in the game. It's just a rhythm game, but it's hilarious. You play as these different DJs, and there's some really cute music. I mean, you got to tap to the beat to stop streakers, a giant robot battle. Please don't forget about that one. Go Coca Polo, River City, Knights of Justice. The Wario games are on here as well. Shining Force, The Sword of Hajaya, or whatever his name is. It only came out on Game Gear. Don't forget Tails Adventure. That was only for Game Gear as well. Rhythm Thief, The Emperor's Treasurer. That game is expensive now. Bionic Commando. This is another one. Don't forget, put DSi in your eShop, and it'll go straight to these games, because some of these were only there. Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue. It's a shooter. 3D Classics. Pokemon Bank, if you're trying to get your Pokemon switched over. Anonymous Notes from the Abyss. That is actually a physical game, but it's expensive now. But you can get all 4 chapters. Legend of the Dark Witch, 1, 2, and 3. There are some Kimco RPGs that are missing as well. Don't forget Pushmo and Stretchmo. Kirby's Clash Deluxe. You'd have to make in-game purchases for that. But don't forget to pick up your stuff, Final Fantasy Explorers. But this is the one I really want to talk about. Radiant Historia. This game is expensive now, and there's a lot of DLC in there that you're going to want. It's a great RPG, really good. It's got a lot to do with time travel. If you're a Chrono Cross, and Chrono Trigger fan, you'll like it. Don't forget your Persona Qs and all those Shin Megami Tensei. Unchained Blades. You can't get this anymore. Don't forget to pick that up. And Mighty Switch Force is actually on the Switch. But enjoy those. Download them. Get you an R4 card. You know, please, you know, don't forget about the 3DS. I will truly miss this this game, this console. You know, it's, you know, I used to take it with me everywhere. I hate that, you know, they're putting it out to pasture. But don't forget your 3DS and your eShop. And now I'm going to go to my recent pickups. I didn't get a whole lot, but just showing what I've picked up here lately and why some of you need to be paying attention. If you're looking in the background, I found my vintage Sailor Moon lunchboxes. This is the original one from Aladdin. I hate that they never made these metal, but when they got so they quit doing that, they started going to plastic. And there was a sad story behind these. I bought these as birthday gifts for some girls at my church, and bless their hearts. They lived with their grandma, and she was one of those people. She would just take stuff and sell it from under you, and you wouldn't know it. But she decided, you know, they weren't using them, and she just put it in the indoor flea market, and I got them back. That's how I ended up with them back. Kind of sad, but, you know, I'm glad I have them, but it's sad how I got them back, and they never got to keep them. Now I get to my recent pickups. This is Reverie Knights Tactics. This is indeed a tactical RPG. It's similar to War Song, and it does have the character cards included. Really good. I like how they do the artwork where if you take damage, your character starts to, you know, sag or, you know, looks really worn out. Really, you know, good game. Check out the reviews. There are many people who have them. Then I picked up Labyrinth of Galeria, the Moon Society. I'm going to tell you something about these games. This is the last one if you picked up the other Labyrinth of, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the first one that's that came out before this one. I did not pick that up on Switch. That game is so expensive now. I think it's it never comes down under 70. But I picked it up on the PS4. But the Switch version, you're going to be out of some money. So pick this up. The Switch version is automatically going to go up because it is the Switch version. And if you want to finish out the series, you need this one. Then I picked up Yuri Kills. If you're a fan of the Notoriety games or 9999 People, 9 Doors, 9 whatever it was, this is the deluxe edition. I'd get this. I was lucky to pick this up. I think there were 2 left in stock when I got this one. But if you're a fan of those kind of, you know, whodunit, you got to figure out how to get out of, you know, going to jail. Do you pardon these people or do you kill them? So you got to figure out. It's similar to kind of Danganronpa. And I know somebody's going to laugh at me for this one. But I just not got it because the second one's coming out. And you know the first one's going to go up. And that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry, y'all. I know somebody's going to say, why haven't you played that yet? I apologize. I really do. But I picked this up real quick because I've been meaning to get it and just kept slipping my mind. Then I picked this up. And I'm glad I did because this is also on one of, I think it's Player Essence's. Get them before they become expensive. This is the Ace Attorney trilogy. This is all 3 games on the Switch. It's only for the first 3 games, and this is an import, but it plays perfectly fine on the Switch in English. But I'm glad I picked this up. I'm surprised they haven't gone ahead and brought the 2 Miles Edgeworth games in. I do have one of those on the DS, but hopefully one day they will, you know, bring him as well into the onto the Switch maybe. Then I grabbed Final Fantasy Type 0, the strategy guide. You know me and them strategy guides. I love my strategy guides. Wanted this so I could finish out the game. It's an interesting game. It's not for everyone. And that, my friend, is the end of my video. Just wanted to get in here and show the 3DS some love and give you a heads up because we only got 3 weeks, people. The end is near. So, you know, get what you can while you can. Get you an R4 card, please. But like I said, I don't condone piracy, but, you know, you're free to do as you please. Don't say I said anything to you. I'm like that lady on Living Color. You ain't heard it from me. But really gonna miss this system. Not one to, you know, sing taps, but here we go. Farewell 3DS. It's been a good time, and still there are even better times to come. Enjoy your 3DS, people. Show it some love. You guys stay safe out there. Later days.